Welcome back to Baldy Catz. Now, today we're going to be having a look at some pretty special, if not disappointing behaviour, triggered mostly by the area of face coverings. And we're going to be seeing whether the scientific evidence in any way supports the need for this type of behaviour. And of course, it doesn't. Now, some of the behaviour you're going to see is so disappointing and frustrating, I really want to start this video on a more positive note. So here's just a quick look at what humans really can be capable of. After the famous explosion that destroyed the nuclear reactor at Chernobyl, firefighting water and water from ruptured cooling pipes collected underneath what was left of the main reactor. As what was left of the reactor melted its way through the floor, there were serious fears that should the reactor come into contact with this water, it would spark a second steam explosion which would leave most of Europe uninhabitable. These three brave engineers went on what they were convinced was a suicide mission in order to drain the water, thinking only of others and not themselves. Thank God they survived. Many years later, this brave man here risked his own life to try and save a dog that I had left in the middle of a motorway. And at the age of 54, British comedian Eddie Izzard put his body through the turmoil of running 29 marathons in 29 days, all for charity. Lovely. Now, some human behaviours, like the ones we've just heard about, really inspire me to want to do something better with my life. But other human behaviours inspire me only to want to punch the TV or laugh uncontrollably, and the man you're about to see makes me want to do both of those things. But I'm going to let the cat introduce him.
Okay everybody, who've we got here?
Yeah, chill out.
Get out! Oh yeah, it's Simply Red's Mick Hucknall. He seems angry. I wonder what he wants.
Lay off the fucking steroids.
Get out!
No, I don't have to get out of my car.
Then you're a beep. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Mick Hucknall wants to beat up his neighbour for no reason. But actually, he's got something far more intimate and romantic planned.
I will beat your fucking dick into the ground all day long.
That's kind of gay, isn't it?
I will beat your dick.
Right, you know, I'm not 100% sure that he totally understands what the term threat means, but at least he knows he's made a mistake. You could tell by the expression on his face at the very end, he knows he's made himself look silly, and he'll probably regret that in the morning. Unlike this next lady, who for some reason, I just get the feeling, even to this day, she's going to be very proud of her own behaviour.
Anyway, this one seems like a lovely lady. I wonder what she wants.
Is this your car? Or don't you have the balls to tell me?
I'll be honest, that question confuses me a little bit. Anyway, now what's she doing? Oh, she's coming to take a photograph. Okay, everybody smile.
Please get away from me.
Absolutely beautiful.
Amazing, isn't she? But then we move on to the type of person who displays odd behaviour, not because they want to be confrontational and aggressive, but because they are truly confused about the situation they find themselves in. Like this next lady who finds herself in the position where she's totally confused about how to get on a bus.
Okay, this lady here seems to be very confused about how you get on a bus. I wonder if standing in front of it and yelling at it really loud will help. No, that didn't work. But what if she tries telephoning the driver? That might help. There we go. I don't know his number, so I'll guess. But I'm sure I'll get it right. Oh, he's not picking up. It's me. Can you see me? Oh, this is proving more difficult than I thought. What if I give a gentle tap on the window? Nothing could go wrong then, surely. Oh dear. You know what, on second thoughts I might give the bus a miss. I think I'll just jog instead. Bye everybody, nice to see you.
But of course the type of odd behaviour we're really going to focus on today is the strict refusal to wear a face mask when you're out in the shops. And we're going to ask, does the scientific evidence support that behaviour or not? Now, not everybody who refused to wear a mask cites science as their reason. Like this next lady that doesn't have a reason whatsoever, but she does have a problem with the English language, and she certainly doesn't understand the definition of the word discrimination.
That's discrimination, and I can have you sued personally for discriminating against me as a woman.
You know what I most love about that comment is the fact that she spectacularly ignores the fact that she's speaking to a man who's wearing a mask in a shop because he's been told he has to wear a mask to work in that shop. If you can show me just one shop where only women are required to wear face coverings, then I'll show this guy where his mountains have gone.
I'm a stupid flat earther, and I want to know where these mountains have gone.
So to cut a long story short, this lady has no reason whatsoever to not wear a mask, only her own stubbornness. And blaming it on sexual discrimination is just an excuse, not a reason for her. But unfortunately, the disease that's currently doing the rounds does discriminate. Although the number of confirmed cases is roughly a 50-50 split between the two sexes, it is men in all age groups that are far more likely to die. But our friend here doesn't worry about that. You see, for her, the mere fact that she doesn't have a pair of testicles means she can do whatever she wants.
It is my right as a living woman to do whatever I want.
So there we have it, our type 1 mask refuser, the type of person who has no reason whatsoever not to wear a mask, but just likes to kick up a fuss. And maybe she thinks she's being brave, but refusing to wear a mask isn't brave. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to all the people in that shop and those 2 poor workers that she's speaking to. The only time not wearing a mask is brave, the only time it's brave, is if you're going into the bathroom directly after Mrs. Catz has used it.
You're a prick.
Okay, example number 2.
Why are you angry if I wear a mask?
Because you're wearing a mask out of stupidity and you're further pushing the agenda. And the agenda is the deep state, which wants to control all of us and have us living in fear.
Yeah, these are our out-and-out conspiracy theorists. And if you follow my channels, you'll know that I spend an awful lot of time with those. And I'm not going to focus too much on them in this video, other than to say we can take every word that comes out the mouth and ignore it completely. Because at the same time that they are waffling that garbage, they're also saying stuff like this.
Well, are these flames defying gravity by going up?
Yeah, unfortunately these people are just very, very easily led, and it's a massive confidence boost to their self-esteem to feel that they are one of the privileged handful of people that really know how the world is being run. But we're going to ignore everything they say today on account of the fact that it's total bollocks, and we're going to have a look at type of mask refuser number 3.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. And so today I've got a funny story for you.
Oh wow, yes, I love funny stories, and I can just tell, I know it, I can tell this is going to be the funniest story I have heard all week. I cannot wait for this. In fact, I'm going to do a special intro. Let's hear it.
The funniest story of the week.
Just finished up at the gym. And so at my gym, they have a rule that you have to wear a face covering while you're in the gym. But if you're on a cardio machine, you don't have to wear one. You can pull it down or take it off.
I'll be honest, man, he let me down a little bit with that one. It's truly disappointing. Anyway, what happens when you can't tell a funny joke? Well, what you can do instead is you can make up absolute nonsense, unsubstantiated verbal diarrhea about masks. So let's do that instead.
When you can't tell a joke, then just make some stuff up.
I don't believe in the masks. They're proven to not work. You know, you got all these people who are wearing these little paper blue masks that if you read the box, it says this will not protect you from any viruses.
Now, given the fact that what you just said is so totally made up, it's unbelievable, I shouldn't address it, but I will do. Now, I could point out that surgeons have been wearing masks since before you were born, and a big part of the role of those masks is to prevent them exhaling pathogens into your open wounds. And I do wonder, if you ever were in the unfortunate position where you required surgery, would you be happy with the surgeons operating on you not to be wearing a mask? Anyway, I won't say that.
You just did.
But what I will do is I'll throw this study at you, a study that says you are wrong. In fact, it's not the masks that don't work, it's the people. This study here, carried out over 11 years ago, looked at the efficiency of face masks in preventing the spread of viral transmission. They studied 286 adults who lived with a child who'd been diagnosed with a respiratory viral illness, mainly the flu. And they asked these adults to wear face masks so they could judge the effectiveness of these masks in preventing the transmission of the disease. Unfortunately, what they found was, despite agreeing to be part of the study, the actual compliance on wearing a face mask never rose above 50%, and it dropped as time went on. But those who did wear the masks most of the time saw a significantly reduced transmission rate within that household. However, because the compliance for wearing a face mask in this study was so low, the researchers concluded that asking people to wear masks to try and control seasonal respiratory diseases was probably not a good idea. But that is not the same as saying that the masks don't work. In fact, in the same paper, the same researchers also drew this conclusion, which was during a severe pandemic, when they assumed that people would be more compliant in wearing face masks, transmission would be reduced. So there we go, mask refuser type 3, who has no clue whatsoever why he thinks masks don't work, so instead he just makes one up. Unlike mask refuser type 4, who does have a reason that she thinks masks don't work, and she loves to shout it at people in supermarkets.
If it really mattered, the mask you're wearing, we would all be wearing the same mask if it mattered. You can put me on Facebook, I don't care. All my friends and all my family know how I feel. It was such a big deal, we would all be wearing the same exact mask. Not paper, not cloth. We would have the same masks on.
So her argument seems to be that masks are ineffective because we don't all wear identical masks. Now, before we get into the science behind that, let's have a little look at an analogy in which I show just how spectacularly dumb that argument is.
This is how stupid your argument is.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to make this phone call.
Beep, 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 beep.
Hello, buddy, how you doing?
Brilliant. What do you want?
Well, I just want to tell you, mate, I've managed to land 2 tickets to the football.
So what?
Well, I thought you might want to come.
No.
Oh. Why not?
How would we get there?
Well, I was thinking of driving.
Yeah, that's nonsense. What car do you drive?
I drive a Honda Civic.
Right, but there's lots of different types of car, aren't there? Yeah? And if they all worked, we'd all have the same type. I'm not coming.
You a dick.
Okay, thanks, bye. Love you.
That is how stupid your argument was.
Now, of course, that argument is spectacularly ridiculous, but if only I had an actual study, a proper scientifically peer-reviewed study that had done a comparison, maybe, between different types of mask. Well, this paper from 2015 does exactly that and compares the effectiveness of surgical masks against the N95 respirator. The paper does tell us that normal medical masks are good at protecting us from large respiratory droplets, and as such they can't be certified to protect us from airborne infection. But this is a tagline that conspiracy theorists will hold on to. Not being certified is not the same as being useless and ineffective. Yes, the N95 respirator is a better mask, and it is capable of better filtering out smaller airborne particles. But as this paper concludes, in times where we have limited resources, such as in a pandemic, the superiority of the N95 respirator over medical masks has very limited practical relevance. So while it's true to say that not all masks are the same, it is just completely willfully ignorant to say that because they're not the same, it's pointless wearing them. And that argument is strongly supported by this reference in the very same paper, which shows that in a study from Hong Kong, all healthcare workers who reported using medical masks during patient contact remained healthy. That was every single healthcare worker. And finally we get to this man, who you might remember from a video I made on this channel just last month.
Today I'm going to be talking to you about Koch's
postulates. That was it. He wanted to talk about Koch's postulates. Now, I've linked the video I made on him in the description, in which I think I thoroughly exposed him for what he is, which is a proponent of very dangerous misinformation. But this time he's back, and he wants to give us his viewpoint on masks.
My main criticism prima facie of the masks, aside from the psychological and social consequences, is that the pore size of the mask is 1 to 2 orders of magnitude larger than the size of a viral particle. So a virus particle is about 100 nanometers, according to what they say about this alleged COVID virus. And the pore size of the mask, an N95 mask, is on the order of microns or micrometers. So it'd be 1 to 2 orders of magnitude difference. So it would be like if you were trying to walk through a door and that door was 100 feet high and 100 feet wide. It wouldn't really stop you.
So essentially you're saying that a mask couldn't stop a virus any more than a 100-foot door frame could stop a person walking through the door.
I'm Gigantor, and it would stop me.
Yeah, we know, mate. Now, this is one of the most willfully ignorant comments from somebody who really should know better. So let's take a look at why Dr. Kaufman is wrong yet again. Well, fortunately for us, this time last year, this paper here ran the numbers on the efficiency of cheap and affordable cloth face masks. Now, while it's true that the size of an individual virus is measured in microns, we don't cough out and exhale singular individual virus particles. We exhale water droplets which have an average size of 8.35 micrometers, far bigger. And it is these water droplets containing the viruses that are stopped by the mask. Now, this study showed that these cheap masks, which have pore sizes ranging up to 500 micrometers, still filtered out 63 to 84% of the 10 micrometer particle sizes. So even if we all just wear these cheap cloth masks every time we breathe out, we're going to be filtering out a huge percentage of the viral particles we otherwise would be exhaling. And just imagine what that's going to do to the R0 value. And remember, that is the goal, to get the R0 value as low as it can possibly be. And you can see the importance of that yourself using the online epidemic simulator built using data from these up-to-date peer-reviewed scientific papers. Now, I've linked this simulator in the description, and at the moment the default settings are set for the virus as we know it. But go and have a play with the R0 value, take it up to 3, bring it down to 1, and you will be absolutely astounded. For example, when I did it, after the first 200 days, an R0 value of 3 gave 1 million more predicted deaths in the first 200 days than an R0 value of 1. Now, I personally don't like wearing masks. I hate wearing masks. I hate the feel of them. I hate the look of them. I hate everything about them. But for the 1% of my life when I'm in a shop and I have to do it, I'm going to put my big boy pants on and I'm going to wear a mask. It's not difficult. Now, as I was researching this video, it took me a few days to get the clips together and things started playing in my mind until I started to have some pretty strange dreams. So to see this video out, I've done the best I can to recreate a dream I had about making this video just 2 days ago. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Masks! Masks! Masks!
I will beat your dick.
It is unlawful for you to do that.
Yeah, you tell him.
It is my right to...
Go on, to do what?
Beat your dick.
Seriously, mate, will you pack it in with that now? She was not going to say that.
You're going to jail, ma'am.
You don't go to jail for not wearing a mask.
Well, she's right about that, but what would I have to do to end up going to jail?
Beat your dick.
Alright, stop. That's it. I'm going home.